Yay, Super Soul Sunday. What a special day. It's Mother's Day in some part of the world, in the United States, I think Germany, and in Ghana is Mother's Day. I don't know about the other countries. So happy Mother's Day to all the fabulous moms out there. And happy Mother's Day to you, Senior National Yvonne Williams. I know that um we celebrated ours in March,
That's
but
right.
we celebrate Mothers every day. So happy
Mhm.
Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And
And
happy Mother's
thank
Day to
you
you
for the
also.
honor, um, gracing our show with your presence. I really, really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
So let's dive in. I'm so excited, but it's always good. I tell my guests, it's always good to let your guests introduce yourself to the world. So please introduce yourself to the world.
Okay, I am Yvonne Williams. I am a Jamaican born woman who arrived here in the UK as a very lost and frightened child at 11 and a half years old to join my parents, ripped away from the arms of my beloved grandmother, and planted with my mom and dad, who I didn't remember. Obviously, I was only two when they left. My father had left when I was one, and my grandmother was my mother, so it was her foundation and her belief that enabled me to survive the UK, to survive Birmingham, to live a totally different type of life, and to become the woman I am today.
Yeah.
Mother of two children, and enjoying a wonderful business with my amazing ladies.
Fantastic. So I want us to travel back a little bit to Jamaica. I know you just said that your grandmother brought you up, and
Mhm.
most of the time we get that best of training when we've been brought up by our grandmoms. Tell me how life was with her.
You know, life was really hard, Nana, but we didn't notice because we had sunshine, we had love, and we had freedom to roam around on our little bit of land, picking mangoes in mango season, oranges in orange season, gathering firewood, fetching water, hanging out with kids when we were allowed to, because we weren't always allowed to go out, attending church, all the things that you do in a hot, sunny climate. And of course, going to a very strict school where, if you ran when you weren't supposed to run, you would get a beaten. Uh,
Wow.
Very different, very different life, but fun. And really, my grandmother was a hard taskmaster, but she loved us dearly.
Wow. You know, you said she, you know, um, ran going forwards, and so obviously she taught you how to cook and all the, the girly stuff. But
No,
one thing that's no,
no, no. I was too, because this was an outside fire that you made with with wood that we collected. So
okay.
it was considered to be dangerous. We had no electricity, no running water, no flush toilet. We had the pit toilet. So it
Memories.
was, yeah, it was always considered dangerous. She would be the one that did. We watched a lot, but it was my grandmother that did the cooking. Hmm.
Okay, so were your parents part of the Windrush then?
No, no, no. My parents came just after Windrush. And so, but yes, they answered the call. I don't think my mom really wanted to come, but my dad was here. And so she made the choice to leave myself and my brother and travel to the UK. And it took them over 9 years to send for us. So, of course, by that time, you've grown up. You don't want to leave your friends, don't want to leave your cousins and your aunties and all the family that you knew. So it wasn't a happy time when we came to England.
More. But I mean, I know that sometimes when people are sent to come to nowadays, you're very happy. Oh, we're going to England.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
so
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
But so growing up, you went to a street school. What were your dreams back home?
Oh my gosh, Nana, my dreams were I was a princess. I read everything in my school library. And so my dreams was, oh my gosh, I'm a princess and I'm going to be a princess. When you're from a poor country, education is the means to escape that poverty. So I always studied really, really hard in school, but I was always a dreamer. I read everything, and my life was, to be whisked away in a limousine. I mean, I didn't even know what a limousine looked like. We didn't have a TV. We only had a radio when we could afford the batteries. It was my imagination was always very much larger than life.
Did when you said you didn't have TV, I remember back home we had the black and white, but then sometimes it just goes off. So we will go and stand behind the neighbor's window, stand on a table to watch TV. Did you experience those ones?
We had no neighbors with TV.
Oh
My
wow.
my district was the last one before the mangrove and the sea. So there was no electricity there. There was no paved roads. It was a very, very different life. People who had TVs had generators to make it happen, and that was not us. It was it was like a dream.
We have come a long, long
Yeah,
way. Thanks
yeah,
be to God.
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks be to
Absolutely.
God. So now you come to the UK to be with your parents. How was the experience like? The first few months meeting your mom and dad.
Oh my gosh. We, of course, we were excited to meet mom and dad, but mom and dad had two other children. So it was a very, very different life. I was very spoilt in Jamaica with my grandmother. And in England, I was the eldest child. And so it was my job to look after siblings, clean the house, cook, wash, all the things I had never done before. It was a culture, 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 culture
Sure.
shock. It was not fun. Not fun. I cried every day for months at night, and I would pray, let me go back to Jamaica, let me go back to Jamaica when I got here.
Oh wow. And what about the princess dream? Because the princess is in England and is washing the dishes. So you could have said, "Oh, you were Cinderella in a
Yep,
way," you
that's
know.
right. Now the princess was Cinderella. Now the princess had to get her sisters, look after, become a babysitter, look after sisters, clean the house, learn to cook breakfast for my mom, cook for the family, things that I had not done before. It was sharp shock, and very different.
But it was at the end of the day, it paid off.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was a different life. It was a different life.
You went ahead, got married, had you have two children of your own, and then you started a business in the hair and beauty industry. What inspired you to start your business?
I started a hair and beauty business because I was in Birmingham, and at that time, there was not a hairdressing salon in Birmingham that did my type of hair, that didn't have a really, really horrible salon with neck
By
curtains.
the way, I'm loving your hair. I'm loving your
Thank
new hair.
you. With horrible, horrible, horrible neck curtains, dirty, and you waited all day to get your hair done. So it was me complaining and complaining about having to go to London to do my hair that meant I had no intentions of opening a salon. I was going down the social work route. And my husband said, "Why don't you open your own salon?" So that was the start of making a business plan, approaching the bank for the money. And I opened a salon, Nana, thinking I would have a salon that I could go get my hair done anytime I wanted to and continue with my life.
Mm.
But it wasn't to be. It didn't end up being like that, because to actually invest in a business and leave it to be managed by somebody else was a very, very difficult thing to do at that time.
But did you have experience in the hair and beauty
Mhm.
industry before you opened the salon?
Nope.
Because so you were fixing a situation. There was no um salons for your kind of hair, so you were fixing that that situation. So what happened?
Well, you know what happened? The salon was like an overnight success. I started out in a business with 600 square feet, and 18 months later, I was in 2,500 square feet premises, because we had outgrown the space we had. The business was phenomenal. People wanted a salon that was professional, that was clean, that operated well, and we were just blown away by it and needed to move. So the management of that, because I went from 5 staff to like 20 odd, and then 50 staff members I ended up with in the
Wow.
industry, in 3 salons.
And the name of the salon was Ebony and Mayfair.
Yeah, we opened in
How
Mayfair.
did you get the name Ebony and Mayfair?
We just made it up. We were always Ebony Hair Design. When we opened in Mayfair, we added Mayfair because we opened in Maddox Street. And yeah, that was right in the heart of Mayfair.
Congratulations on that. So now someone comes and introduce you to Mary Kay Cosmetics, and that is where we are going to dive in. You were very
Mhm.
successful at uh, the beauty your salon, I mean chains, and then tell me who said no, there is more for you, because one your catchphrase is you can have it if you really want it. And
Mhm.
so tell us how your Mary Kay business began.
Mhm. My Mary Kay business, Nana, was a total accident. We had a house in Florida, and we had the house for about 8 years. My husband lost his property business at the recession, the property crash in the
Mm.
early 90s. And we lost the house. We had to sell the house. I needed some extra money, but was not thinking of doing anything else. I was just thinking about working harder. And I happened to read a magazine about Mary Kay Cosmetics and Gloria Mayfield Banks, who was Gloria Mayfield at the time. And I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that she was a Harvard graduate and had given that up to sell Mary Kay. So I dialed the 1-800 number, introduced to a consultant who came and facialed me, bought products even though I really had no money to be spending on products. And that was the start of my flirtation with Mary Kay, because having come back home, everybody noticed the difference in my skin, the foundation color. What are you using? You look absolutely fabulous. And, and that was me not knowing anything about how to put on makeup. And Mary Kay then came to the UK. So sometimes, things just happen for a reason. You don't know what the reason is,
Yeah.
because it's just all the ducks were in a row. If it had been 2 years previously, I wouldn't have been interested in Mary Kay, because life was great. My sounds were great. My husband's business was great. But the things happened. He lost his business. We needed extra money, school fees, nursery fees. Mary Kay came to the UK, and I had the opportunity to become a consultant, and I was wise enough to do it.
So so you were the first consultant as well, because you're the lady of first.
I was the
So
87th consultant in Mary Kay UK. I can tell by my consultant number. I was the 87th person to join Mary Kay UK.
So when you joined, tell us how excited you were, because I know I am a, by the way, for those of us watching, I'm also a Mary Kay consultant, and and I will tell you a story about this amazing lady as we go along. How excited were you, Senior National Sales Director Yvonne Williams, when you started your Mary Kay journey?
Do you know, I was more scared than excited, Nana. I can remember my first skincare party. My tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. I sweated profusely, and I was a young woman then. I was not in the menopause. And oh, it was terrifying. It's like I couldn't read the flip chart. It was such, anything that we do is different. It's always
Yeah.
scary, isn't it? And
Mm.
although I had a business, was used to working with people, I had never done anything like this before, so I was really frightened. And I wasn't an accomplished public speaker at that time. Every time I had to go on stage, I would nearly die and wet myself. And I really was terrified, but I forced myself to do it. And I was with good friends who helped me and who laughed and supported what I was doing at that time.
Apart from being very terrified, what were some of the mistakes that were you able to differentiate shades? Because some
No,
of us had experiences of putting on
no,
the wrong foundation on.
no. And do you remember the first showcase had so many things in? I would just put it out there and let people kind of have a play. But I've done things like gone to a skincare class without my showcase, forgotten my flip chart, or yeah, missteps when I was doing the skincare party just because I was nervous, and still managed to build a successful business, because guess what? None of the things I did wrong were life threatening. So, it was just a case of correcting myself and saying, whoops, I forgot to give you
Mhm.
the freshener, but let me tell you, I'll add that to your regimen when you purchase the products.
What
So
was your, how much did you earn on your first skincare class?
I started the 29th of November, 93. So it was a long time ago. And for the first month, I really had no sales. I still battled along, and I had no sales until after Christmas
What?
because, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was also busy. So I did 2 or 3 parties, but I then got into, salons busy, so no time. And I didn't get the sales until after Christmas, when the women had money that they could spend on themselves. And
Oh, so
then
yeah.
it was over £1,000 for my first 5 weeks, over £1,000.
As a Mary Kay sales consultant, one of the things that you have to do is to warm chat people,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you get the no's and no's. Did that salt kind of made you think, oh, this is not for me?
No, because I'm no okay. So I was never it was never frightening for me to talk to people. And initially I just offered the facials and skincare parties to the women who came into my hairdressing salon. So that made it a little bit easier to,
Easier.
yeah, a bit easier to meet people. And you would go out on the street, and I was quite well known in Birmingham, so it was easy to give books out and to just talk to people. And people would always say, oh, I love your skin, I love how you, I mean, I didn't wear a lot of lipstick or eye colors, but they'd always say, oh, your skin looks lovely. And that would then give you the opportunity to say, hey, yeah, that's because. I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant. Would you like to try my products? I would
Wow.
love to offer you a complimentary facial.
Well, memories are coming, but so you decided to give up your salon and go into Mary Kay full time. Who does that? I mean, you were successful.
Mhm.
Why did you close the salons to give Mary Kay all your time and focus on it?
Mary Kay, as she always says, you can't chase two rabbits. And I went to the very first event we had, which was in February 94 at in Cheltenham, at one of the hotels in Cheltenham. And that's where, you see, I had gone into Mary Kay, Nana, for extra money, thinking I would continue with my salons. But when I saw how amazing Mary Kay could be for me and my family, it was a no-brainer. We met Mary Kay on the screen because she'd stopped traveling at that time, but we met all those amazing American women who w- told of their life-changing experiences, and I just felt, it was like I just felt this is what I'm meant to be doing.
The
It
Prince's
just
life.
everything resonated with me. I just felt this can change my life much, much more than my own business. And I just saw the opportunity for the women that I was in contact with, and decided that it was going to give me a better way of life. Hairdressing is 6 days a week. We work 6 days a week, two late nights. We traveled to doing beauty shows and hair shows and photo sessions, and having to clean the salon if the cleaner didn't come, their late nights. I hardly saw my children when even it was my own business, but because it was a shop, I was not in control of my time. I couldn't say I'm not going to work on a Saturday when the salon is so busy and they're screaming out for help. So it was just, I was looking for something else, and Mary Kate, again, as I say, just came at the right time for that to happen.
So you gave it your all and you became the first ever senior sales director. And then it continued. You was very successful. You won the pink car, the pink Mercedes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you went on to also, you were voted the Miss Go Give, which is the highest honor in Mary Kay. And then you were the first executive sales director, then the first ever independent senior national sales director. You have traveled the world. I want you to take me through some of the, success stories in throughout this time and your travels.
Mm-hmm. Well, becoming the first director was amazing, and the first senior, because Hyacinth Loftus used to manage my London salon and came into Mary Kay and was my first recruit as well. So we've been walking this path for a long, long time. I then had the opportunity to go to the Netherlands, because I have 6 directors in the Netherlands, where I met a most amazing lady, Josefina Isaias, who opened up the Netherlands for me. Again, she had a great job, but wanted something else to do, wanted freedom. If you ask her the thing that Mary Kay has been for her, it has been freedom. So, because of that, I was able to travel to Holland every month initially, then every 6 weeks, and of course, haven't been anywhere now for over a year.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but then had the opportunity to meet Mary Kay in Dallas. I was able to meet her on 4 occasions. She did my new director training,
Oh,
was
wow.
on the very first trip that Mary Kay UK had, where we did Dallas and then we did Hilton Head Island, which it was that stands out for me because that was the smallest plane we've ever been in to get from Dallas to Hilton Head. So we were all
Mm.
so scared. It was a rough, rough, rough life.
The
Um,
bumper ride.
yes, but great, great memories of how Mary Kay spoils you. You know, the hotel we had was amazing. When I looked at the rack rate on my room, I thought I wouldn't pay $450 for any hotel room. And that's where, you know, with all our meals and just treating us like the princesses that Mary Kay wanted us to be.
So your dream was really, really, that dream that you had many
Yep.
years ago in Jamaica
Yep.
has really come true because you get the diamonds. I bet you've got countless of diamond. I need
Yep.
to come shopping one of these days.
Yep. The limousines, the
The
limousines.
limousines,
Yep. Yep.
the dresses,
That's right.
uncountable evening gowns, and travel. Which country stands out the most on your whether NSD trip or director trip?
Uh, I would say Hawaii. You know, America took us to Maui, and that was amazing. I spent some time in San Francisco before. So yeah, Maui is was what, and Maui was where I met one of my most amazing Mary Kay friends, a national in Norway, Wenche Midtum, and we have been. It's like we're sisters.
Mm.
We fell in love with each other. We keep saying we fell in love with each other in Maui, and we've been friends ever since. And one of the things, you know, that Mary Kay does, it pushes you. You meet people from all over the world, and it opens so many different doors to you because, you know, I've traveled to Norway so many times to work with her people, and she's come to the UK and to the Netherlands to work with my lovely ladies as well. So we struck up a really amazing friendship that has just helps to sustain the both of us.
So that is the beauty of the sisterhood of
Mhm, mhm,
Mary Kay Cosmetics. You have
mhm,
earned countless money, and your paycheck to this day the highest 14.5K in
mhm,
a
mhm,
in a month.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yep,
Wow.
yep, yep, yep. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, as you know, because, you
Yes.
know, the highest paycheck has never been written in this business. You know, you can, you know, you really can have it if you want it.
You really can have it if you want it.
Mhm,
I want us to talk about leadership because you're a leader of leaders.
mhm,
And I know once upon a time when I was a Mary Kay sales director, one thing that stood out for me was when we get to go to leadership and
mhm,
get trained from the best. And the story that I wanted to tell our wonderful um, social family that are watching us was, I know you're an early bird, and every when we go for leadership every
mhm.
morning, I wanted to go, have my breakfast before everybody came. But anytime I went, there was senior national Yvonne Williams sitting down. And I mean, then I was just a young
Mhm,
sales
mhm,
director, but you did not look at, and I wasn't in your area as well. But you would say, Nana, come join me. Come and join the table. And it was just the two of us.
mhm,
And on count, I think three leadership, I got the honor to have breakfast with you, and you really poured into me. And I think some of the things have really stuck with me, and I have become the woman that I am today. Let's talk about leadership because it's so important. And when women are leading women, sometimes there is that, should I say strive? What do you want to say about that?
you know, those are great memories from those leaderships, and subsequent leaderships I've really missed you
Yeah.
because, you know, it was such fun. Yeah, I am an early bird, and I think I take Mary Kay's 5 o'clock club quite seriously, and it allows me to have that thinking time. Even now, Nana, I walk nearly every single day, so I miss our breakfasts as well.
Yes.
And I think as women, you know, anything can be learned. That's one of the things. None of us arrive as a full package. And I believe that we learn and we grow as leaders, and as women, we we have so much more to deal with, because other women are so critical of each other, right? They would let a mistake. But I don't remember if you remember one of those politicians. I think he was with the Liberal Party. He was always messy and rumpled. I can't remember his name. And
Mm.
people would look at him and say, he needs a good woman. But they would look at a woman if she was unkept, and they would judge, and they would immediately put you down. And one of the things that I love about Mary Kay is that we're a supportive family, and we want the best for each other, and we support each other. And that, for me, is really one of the reasons why I stayed with Mary Kay through all the ups and downs, because the support I've had from not just the women in my area, but women like yourself and the other women in the UK and outside the UK have really supported and nurtured me as well. And we have such a lot to give back, and we have such a lot to help to lift other women up, because as women, we are still undervalued, we are still underpaid, we are still playing catch up with men, and it's not going to change even when I die. Even in my daughter's lifetime, I don't think it's going to be an equal footing.
So it means that women have to work hard and support each other. You know,
Yeah.
there is a quote in Mary Kay that says that
Mhm.
on everyone's forehead is written, "Make me
Make me
feel
feel important.
important."
Yeah.
There are so many women in your area. I mean, thousands of them. You have an area in the Netherlands, in Germany. You have consultants in the US. How are you able to gather all these women and pour into them your wisdom?
You don't. Okay, so, believe it or not, the pandemic has made that a little bit easier, because I started a weekly video to my area in the pandemic, and it goes out every Monday morning. And if I'm late with it, I'm getting messages from the director saying, "Where is it?" So it allows me to build a connection. And that's what social media has done. The Zoom calls, we've been able to connect with the ladies who want to be connected, because not everybody comes on, as you know, Nana, but the ones who do, we can talk. And they, because again, we've been at home for over a year.
Yeah.
I'm more available now than I have ever been in my Mary Kay career,
Because now you can sit at the comfort of your home
and talk to
and
everybody.
talk to
That's right.
everyone.
Yeah.
So well, some I've got a text. Somebody said, "Do you, if the pandemic should, if we're all able to travel again, how do you organize your area? Do they all fly to the UK for your national area conferences, or you? How do you do it?" The person is asking.
We very much did. Everything that was done in the UK was replicated in the Netherlands. That's one of the things I'd always done. But now, for instance, on Saturday coming, we have Stars and Reds High Tea, and we celebrate the Stars and the Reds. So we've been doing that virtually. And it's been so nice to connect with the directors in the Netherlands and the consultants there as well. So some of those things we're going to have to think about. But of course, I love going out and socializing. So we'll go back to doing some of the real things, but I won't travel as much, because it's life has shown me it's not necessary
Mm.
to do that, and I can still do amazing work with the ladies, just sitting in my living room like I am right now with you.
Yes, they don't. I don't have to travel all the way to Birmingham, but I will come. I will come one of these days. I'll bring my cameras.
Of
So,
course.
the pandemic. many businesses have closed down. Many businesses, I mean, have fired their employees, and we
Mm-hmm.
see on the news that all the things that is happening. Has that affected your business?
No. Nana, we had our best year in the pandemic. And one of the things that the pandemic did for my area, and also it opened up the business to Kurdish people. I had an amazing first Kurdish director, lovely lady, Hero Abdullah. And she was so excited about the business that she just took it into the living room of all the Kurdish women and ended up with we now have 5 Kurdish directors. This is people that
Wow.
we would not have been speaking to, and these are women that would probably never have joined Mary Kay had it not been for the pandemic, because they are housewives. The English language is not they're not fluent in English, but this has enabled them, the pandemic and social media has enabled them to serve their community and give women an amazing way to make a living.
So, starting the business, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter. What are some of the qualities that matters when you want to start your Mary Kay business?
The first thing is your desire and whether you are teachable and coachable. You see, what helped me was my mentor said, do this, and I did it. She said, do this one, and I did it. I didn't question it. I didn't know anything about the business, so I learned from others. And sometimes people come into Mary Kay, but they don't want to take your experience. They want to do it all a different way. And as this is a different business. It doesn't matter what, it didn't matter that I had 3 successful hairdressing salons and a beauty school. This was different for me to learn. So I needed to put myself in someone's hands to have their knowledge and experience. And then I was able to give that to other people. So teachable, coachable, willing. What does Mary Kay say? You can take the willing and make them capable, but you can't take the capable and make them willing. So you have to be willing to learn and then to go out and do what you've been told to do. And women have built this business virtually now since lockdown in March. They've not had a physical skincare class, but they've made great strides in the business.
One thing I love about Mary Kay, you as we are all at home, the comfort of your home, having a conversation, but you're all glammed up, glammed up from the top.
No, 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 and the bottom, which is unusual. But yes, you're right. We've been able to just put on a nice top and do what we need to do, and it's been fun to do it as well.
Well, I've got someone is asking, can men join as well? Yeah, well, it's
Yes,
your
of
it's your
course.
it's your platform today, so I will not answer it.
Yes, of course, of course, of course, of course. And we're an equal opportunity because we're not an employer. It's your own business, but men are most welcome and do some of the top hairdressers. Most of the top hairdressers are men.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
yeah, and
So
makeup artists as well.
yeah, Louis Casco, who's a makeup artist working with Mary Kay. So obviously, this is a business. So Nana, let me tell you, when I employed a male hairdresser from London, and okay, I'm taking you back to 1980 when everybody wanted long hair. Okay.
Yeah.
And women would come in with ragged ends, and you'd say it needs a little trim. No, 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 no. And then we had this male hairdresser, and he'd say, you know, let's go for, a graduated look. I'm going to pick up the sides. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to, I'm going to do an asymmetrical look. And this same woman who refused to cut 1 millimeter off her hair, oh, yes, please. I'm telling you. So a male beauty consultant, I know would
Will be fabulous.
absolutely great. There's a male national in Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah, top of the tree, a male national sales director, probably about 4 or 5 years. So it is so possible.
well, I hope I've with yes, so you can be a consultant if you want to, my dear. Well, the other question is, can Senior National Yvonne Williams tell us some of her secrets of success?
Oh, okay. There are no secrets. Honestly, I'm an open book. I will tell you anything you want to know. But I tell you what has helped me. Number one, I am very, very focused. I'm also consistent. I am a woman of my word. I don't let people down. If you say, a friend of mine was the governor, asked me to help at a sixth form college. She was running a sixth form college. And it was a few years ago, and there was snow, 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 the horrible weather. I turned up. The London people didn't turn up. And she said, I knew you would turn up because I
Wow.
said I would. And, it, then the other secret is look at people you admire and learn from them. Don't we're so Sometimes we're looking to the failures, we're looking to the people who gave up, and we don't look to the people who are where we want to be. Another thing I always remember, one of the retired national in the US, Matty Dozier, she said, when there's something wrong, you always go to the person with the headache. You don't go to the person with the tablet. So you have two headaches and no tablet. And I love that saying because that's what people do. That misery loves company, doesn't it,
Oh
Nana?
yeah.
So if you're struggling, you go to somebody else who's struggling, and then all you can do is be miserable rather than go to somebody with the tablet, because we let our pride get in the way to go to that person with the tablet.
Don't let your pride get in the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she says, you said you've been consistent. So in the pandemic, would you say you have kept going, or you thought things weren't going to be right, so you took a break?
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So when the pandemic started, I thought, oh my gosh, how are we going to cope? But I was doing Zooms with my directors and DIQs anyway. So I realized I would need to get onto Zoom to talk with my consultants. So I started doing, everybody was at home. So I was doing 3 Zooms a week, just to keep people reassured and just to keep them engaged. Because I think one of the things, I don't think we've got any Mary Kay consultants who are suffering from depression, because we have been there for each other. And I quickly realized that it was working. We were busier. We just needed to find different ways to work. And so no break. In fact, worked harder with presentations, slides. I have a great office assistant who, was able to create lots and lots of slides. So nearly all my training now, I have different slide presentations. So thank you, Oisha. And it has just really helped to structure my business. And quizzes, people, I'm not clever on social media. I'm the wrong age for social media, really. But I know clever people. And so, I get by. I get by and do what I need to do.
Yes, you get by. I have another. Okay, people are really wanting to know more. How has that affected you as a mother?
The, the,
Because you
the
said
pandemic.
in your no, as your business, because
Okay.
in your when you were running your salon,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have time, but now you started your Mary Kay. So how has that affected
Mm-hmm.
you and your children and your family?
Okay. So, guys, I always had an au pair when I had my hairdressing salons because I was out of the house 6:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning because I had an hour's commute into Birmingham. If you caught the traffic wrong, it was more than an hour. And when I went to London, I would go on the train. So I always had an au pair. My kids were always sleeping when I left and in bed when I got back home. So when I went full time Mary Kay, it was different. It was great to be at home, to be able to go to all the events with my daughter, to go to the rounders matches and the hockey and all the things that she did. My daughter was very sporty. She was into
Mm.
football quite a bit. And you know, I have a daughter and a son. And my daughter, I have a great relationship with, and she said to me, "I'm so glad you're home now with me." And she's an independent woman. She's a feminist, and she is also um, I'm so proud of the woman she's become, Nana, because she won't take the nonsense that I took, because she's just molded a totally different way, and she's focused on her career, and I know she has an amazing gift to offer to the world.
Fantastic. So there you have it. Well, before we run that, we want you've shared some tips with us, but we want more. If someone started her business and after a year things are not working, what would you say to the person?
I'd say be honest with yourself. Did you work or did you just think about it? Because Nana, I've known people who prepared a room, in the old days, got a filing cabinet, got this, got that, the other, but didn't actually have any bookings. And if you don't have any bookings, this business isn't going to work. Now it's so easy because you're doing those bookings virtually, and I've done the facials just on me, just sat here on WhatsApp and shown the ladies what to do and sold them products. So I think you have to be honest with yourself. Did you commit to the time? I committed to 3 appointments a week to build my business. Come rain, come shine, come period pain, come headache, come kids sick. Kids are sick all the time, not kids seriously ill. Do you know what I mean? But any excuse sometimes that we have to go out on a cold, wet night, we will take. I've had the disappointments where I've traveled a long way and the door doesn't open, and I'm taking off my shoe and banging on the door and the door doesn't open, and I come home disappointed and get a flimsy excuse. Oh, I forgot, and this happened and the other happened, and I still survived. So I think you have to be honest with yourself. Are you really working, or are you just thinking about the work that you need to do?
So you've got to wake up and work, not just think and wish.
And
Was
just restart. Just
yeah,
restart. You can read. The great thing about Mary Kay, isn't it? You restart. You can restart every day. You can restart every month, and we restart every year as well.
you can restart. So we end up with dreams. You know,
Hmm.
Mary Kay is a business of dreams, and I think
Yeah.
for me, it's like a springboard. It's been like a springboard for me to do what I'm doing
Eh,
now, which I'm so
I
thankful for.
remember. I remember those conversations, and that was your love. And isn't it
Yes.
amazing that you're doing what you love?
And I never knew there was a day coming that I would be interviewing you. But hey, this is the lady that you sat with at the breakfast table and shared and poured wisdom, and now she is. So I think the next time we have a conversation again, we're bringing our cameras to your place. But your dream also have come true from way back from Jamaica when you were dreaming to be a princess. And today you are more, you are a queen because you have a lot of women that you were leading, leader of leaders, the lady of the fast. You've achieved almost everything. What is next for you?
So, Nana, I think that, dreams do come true. And I remember you telling me about your book and, this dream you had to be a broadcaster. And it's amazing that you've achieved it. And I have to take my hat off to you as well, because I'm still talking about writing the book. Yeah, for me, writing a book about my journey. One of my dearest dreams would have been to help my grandmother. And of course, she died before I could do anything for her. And that really hit me a few years ago. And I just cried so hard for the hard life she had, and that I could not do anything for her. For me now, my dream is now to see the ladies in my area take that mantle and create the lifestyle for themselves. To give themselves that freedom, to give themselves that financial security, and to have a legacy. I love John Maxwell. Our calling is the gift we give the world when we are alive. Our legacy is our gift to the world after we die. And, for me now, my legacy is in the area that I live, and the Mary Kay UK and the Netherlands that I have been privileged to support for nearly 28 years. 28
Wow.
years coming up in November.
28 years.
28 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Leading women for 28 years. You have all the patience in the world.
No, no, no. No, I always say God gave me this job because He knew I needed patience. I needed to learn to be patient, because I really I'm a very impatient person by nature. And Mary Kay has taught me to become a little bit more patient.
So you are patient now. Thank God. Thank God. Thank you so much. Senior Independent Senior National Sales Director, the Lady of Fats. I call you leader of leaders for your
Thank you.
time, for your support. I really appreciate you all these years. When I wrote the book, when I was launching, you were coming, but all these stuff you've done for me. And one thing that I have learned, and to finish it, and maybe you say your final words, is harnessing relationships, because even though I took a break off and all that, you still checked on me, and those text messages and those Christmas cards. So I am thankful. It's really gone a long way, and thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, Nana. When I was talking, I was telling some of the ladies, I was talking to Jackie Warner actually, and she said, I really miss seeing her. So you had so much warmth. People loved seeing your smile, and it was a pleasure to just keep, just because this is the thing with Mary Kay, isn't it? We make
Mm,
lifelong friendships. So even if people stop doing Mary Kay, they don't stop being a person of value to me. One of my dearest friends, ex-director from me, she lives in the Bahamas. And I love the person that she is. So I will always keep in touch with people who mean something to me, and I think sometimes we let good friends slip through our fingers because just to give them that little bit of attention and the love that we have for them.
I like that. We let good friends slip. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're watching us today, I hope you've taken so much. Thank you for everybody that was sending text messages.
Mm-hmm.
If you, I know you've learned a lot, but this is the icing on the cake. Don't let good friends slip by.
That's right.
Harness the relationship because you never know.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
What are your final words as we close?
Oh, my final words. Just be grateful every day that you wake up alive and be a better you today than you were yesterday. That's all we can do.
All we can do. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
Independent Senior National Sales Director Yvonne Williams, thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. We wish you all the best. And hopefully, when you write your book, you come back and share with us.
Thank you, Nana. And you have a great rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of your birthday
Oh,
month.
yes, I am enjoying. I am having fun. And thank you for the wishes.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
and have a great week as well.
Thank you. And thanks
Take
for
care and
having
God
me
bless.
on. Thank you.
You're
Bye bye,
welcome. Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch this amazing interview. I hope you've learned a lot. And even if you're not a Mary Kay consultant, I think the wisdom that Independent Senior Sales, National Sales Director Yvonne Williams have shared, you can use it in your business, in whatever you're doing as a leader or as a business person. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening, a fruitful week. Always know you belong at the top till I come your way next time. Goodbye and God bless.